Yeah, welcome to another new session. We'll be learning Linux for DevOps. So, if you want to master uh, DevOps, the first prerequisite is you should have uh, advanced knowledge on Linux. So, as part of that, what Linux you have to learn. So, you'll be having Ubuntu, you'll be having CentOS, you'll be having Red Hat. Okay, so and when it comes to enterprise level or production level, in most of the many companies, apart from the startups, they'll be using Red Hat as a Linux for their servers. So one always have to have knowledge on the Red Hat Linux. So I'll tell you now we'll also be learning Red Hat Linux, and as part of that I'll tell you why we have to learn CentOS and what is the need of learning CentOS. So you'll have a clarity on what is the difference between Red Hat and CentOS. So this justification will help you understand uh, why you have to learn CentOS Linux, which is a copy of the Red Hat. But anyways, let us start. So now Red Hat is a open source and not a freeware. Okay. So in order to use Red Hat, you need to buy Red Hat and use it, which is a enterprise version. Okay. In enterprise version, all the technical support is also offered by Red Hat. So I mean to tell, if you buy Red Hat, you will get technical support from Red Hat. Okay, now, so there is something called CentOS. So this CentOS community is taking the Red Hat distribution and freely distributing it as CentOS, which is exactly clone of the Red Hat distribution. So only point to be noted here is when you are using CentOS, which is the exact clone of the Red Hat, you will not have technical support. Okay, if you need technical support, you need to buy a paid version. So it means you have to buy Red Hat. Automatically you'll be paying for it and you'll also get technical support. If you want to use the same Red Hat in a free way, so you'll be having CentOS, which is the exact clone of the Red Hat, but only point to be noted here, the CentOS does not come with any technical support. Okay, that's it. So now if a question comes back asking which Linux version did you use, so you will say you have used Red Hat Enterprise Linux number 8, version 8, okay, RHL 8. So even if you learn CentOS 8, it means that you have mastered or you have already learned RHL 8. Okay, that's the point I want to drive here. Now I'll take a layman example to make you understand how commands are designed in Linux. Let it be any Linux, let it be Red Hat Linux, Ubuntu, CentOS, or let it be your SUSE or Fedora, anything, any Linux. This is the way commands are designed. So let me take one layman example and try to explain it. So if you want to create a user, the command will be user and the option will be add and the username, which will be Vikram, which will be the input for the command. So command will be user. For the command you will have option. For the same command called user, you will have another input. So command will have option, command will have input. In this example, command is user, option is add, input is Vikram. The same way, if you want to delete a user, the command will be user, option will be del for delete, and input will be Vikram. So this is the way your Linux commands will be designed. So the point to be noted down here is this command which you are seeing here in orange color is compulsory. This command is always compulsory, but for every command option is optional. The same way for every command input is optional. So I mean to tell, command is compulsory, option is not compulsory, input is also not compulsory. Okay, so this is the background how your Linux commands will be designed. So I'll take one real Linux example command. So understand that ls stands for listing all the files and directories. If you want to see the list of files and directories in your server or a machine, you'll use ls command. As I said, commands are compulsory. So if you see, ls is compulsory. But if you see the option here, there is no option here, and there is also no input here. Clear? So command is compulsory, option is not compulsory, input is not compulsory. Okay. So case 2. In this case 2, if you see, I am using ls command, but I don't have option here, but I have input. So I mean to tell, option is not compulsory and input is also not compulsory, but if required you can use command with input, or else you can only use the command itself. Okay. The same way, the third scenario, you have here ls command with option and also with input. So as I said, command is compulsory, option is not compulsory, if required you can use, and input is not compulsory, if required you can also use it. So case 1, case 2, case 3, or scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3. In scenario 1 you have only the command which is compulsory, but there is no option, there is no input. In scenario 2 you are having command which is compulsory, but there is no option, but you have input. In scenario 3 you have command which is compulsory, option which is optional, but you are using option here which is -d, and you are also using input which is not compulsory. If you want you can use it. So this command at the end has got option and input, but in the second scenario you have command with input only and there is no option. In the first scenario you have command without option, without input. So this is the way Linux commands will be designed. Clear? So not every command, most of the commands will be designed in this way. If you understand this, then automatically you can start proceeding further. Now let us start creating a virtual machine or a server in which we will start learning Linux by using CentOS, which is the exact clone of the Red Hat. Okay. So if you observe here, there are many operating systems available here. You have Mac, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat. So I am going with the Amazon Linux because this has internally CentOS available. So it is already selected, and then I am going with free tier eligible. Okay, this is the image which I am using. I have selected this, or which is already selected. You will be getting this detail, and then come to the machine. I will take the machine T2 micro, free tier eligible. Coming to the key pair here. So key pair we will be going with either existing key pair or a new key pair. It is up to your wish. Okay, and coming to select existing security group, and in this I will go with the default security group. Okay, and then everything is fine. Yeah, so this is the image which I am using, and machine type T2 micro default. By default you will be getting 8 GB of storage space for our server or virtual machine. Okay, launch instance. After the machine is launched, I will name the machine as Red Hat CentOS machine. So if you closely follow here, let us see the machine details. So the machine is currently in a pending state, but let me rename the machine here, or let me name the machine. So it will be Red Hat CentOS. Okay, Red Hat CentOS. Save this. So the instance state or the machine state is running. Click connect. If you don't want to do SSH, you have the option called EC2 connect, wherein straight away when you click on connect, you will be connected to the particular server. Okay, so the connection will be established here. So this is the machine what we have created. Okay, it is ready to use. Okay, so just see ls. I mean it's ready to use. Now if you don't want to use this, if you want to do an SSH, choose this SSH option and copy this command and start using it. Okay, either of the way you can use it. But in my case, what I will do is I will I have already made my machine ready in the background. I'll just bring it to you. Here now my machine is ready here. I have logged into the machine. Now we'll start with the very first command, which is called uname. Okay, uname. So as I said, for every command you'll have, or you might have, you might not have. It is not compulsory. Okay, so command is compulsory. Optional is not compulsory. If you want, you can use, you can ignore. Input is not compulsory. Okay, so as I said earlier. So the first command I am taking is a uname command. So which will give the details about the system or the server what you are using. Okay, so uname is the command I am using. So it is saying my machine is a Linux machine. Okay, so we'll use the same uname command with an option called -i. So what will -i option do? It will give you the information about what? It will give you the information about the server's architecture. Is it a 32-bit or a 64-bit machine? Okay, so it is a 64-bit machine. So for every command, various options will be available, but the point is, how will I know that various options are available? Okay, so straight away go to Google. So simply type man and uname. So I am saying man stands for manual and uname is a command name. So I like to bring out a point here. If you just see, so when you buy your mobile phone, let it be Apple phone, Android phone, or any refrigerator, or any washing machine, or any air conditioner, every device will come with a manual book. Okay, so in that you will be having options like how to operate the particular device, how you should take care of the device, how you should troubleshoot the device, right? All the details will be given in a manual book. Okay, the same way every command will have a manual. So to check that, you should say man stands for manual and the name of the command. Okay, so currently I have only showed you how to use uname command. So I am only trying to get the details of manual of the uname. So enter. Now if you see, I will open the first search option here. If you see, for the uname command, these are all the options available. Okay, these are all the options available: -a, -s, -n, -r, -v, -m, and I showed you -i. So if you see the hardware platform, it will show you. So that is the way I got the details of my server is hardware is a 64-bit. That is what I am trying to say. The same way, not only for uname, if you want to see the manual of any other command, for example, if you want to see the manual of an ls command, then you will say man and ls. So automatically you will get the manual page of the ls command here. Okay, so ls command. So these are all the options available. Okay, so another point to be noted here is, how do you identify that this is a option and this is the input? It's very easy. Options will always start with hyphen. Options will always start with hyphen. If you see in my layman example also, I started option with hyphen. So if it is starting with hyphen, it is an option. For every command, if the option is starting with a hyphen, it is an option. Okay, and the last part will be the input. Okay, input or path, anything you can give. But anyways, I'll tell you when to use single hyphen and double hyphen. As we go on putting the hands on in deep, I'll explain you the shortcuts. In case if you want to search for the various options available for every command, what you can do is you can use man and the command name. Okay, so man and the command name, uname. Okay, so without going to your Google search also, you can search it here. Okay, so if you see, these are all the various options available. Okay, so for the uname command, these are all the options available. Okay, If in case if you want to come out of this, type Q to quit. Okay, that's it. If you want to see the man command for ls command, man and the command, again here also the same. Okay, so for the ls command, these are all the various options available. Okay, so like this you will be going and searching what every option will be helping out or sorting out the problem. Okay, so we'll come out of this, clear the screen, and now we'll start diving deep. Now let us try to take the information about the hardware and the operating system information. So I mean to tell, we have created a machine in our AWS account, AWS cloud, right? It is a server. That server details I want to see, the hardware details and the operating system details. So for that we will be using a command called cat command, and in the cat there is a folder called etc, and in the etc there is a file called etc os release. So this will give you the details about the machine what you are using. So it is a CentOS machine. If you see, it is backed with the Red Hat, which is because it is exactly clone of the Red Hat. Okay, the same way, if you want to get your CPU details, so we have a location called proc folder. In the proc folder we have CPU info. So you will get the details about the CPU. So this is your CPU details. Okay, so Intel Arc Xenon Platinum CPU 2.5 gigahertz. Okay, if you are interested, you can explore. The same way, if you want to get the details about your RAM, so it will be mem info. It will be what? Cat proc mem info. So if you see, cat is a command, but as this is not starting with hyphen, so it is not an option, but this is the input for the command called cat. Okay, so let's see. So these are the details about the memory or the RAM. Okay, clear? And in the same way, every machine will have a hard disk attached to the machine. So if you want to see the hard disk capacity or the details of the hard disk, you have the command called LSBLK. So list block devices. LSBLK stands for list block devices. So my machine got 10 GB space or the hard disk. So that these are the details about the hard disk. Okay. Now if you want to clear the screen, you use a command called clear. So this is all about the server machine whatever we have created, details of the server, physical server, and also what is the operating system running inside the server. This is just details about the mesh server, and the OS is what we have seen. Okay, these are not the day-to-day commands what we use, but at least once you should know on which machine you are working, on which operating system you are working. For this purpose you have to learn those commands. Okay, now let us start with listing the files and directories. So in my current machine, how many files and directories are there? For that we will use a command called ls command. Okay, so ls is giving the details of the files and directories in my machine. If you see 1, 2, 3 which are in blue color and rs which is in a blue color, the blue colors ones are the folders or directories, and the white colors like abcb, bad.py, cde, hat.sh, xyz, these are all the files. So files are white color and folders are in blue color. Clear? Now if you want to get the properties about these files, means what is the size of the file, when was the file created, what are the permissions available for the file. Okay, is a file read write executable file, or is a file, who is the owner of the file, to which group does the file belong. If you want to get all those details, you will use the same ls command, but now we will use an option for the first time for the ls command, ls-l. Okay, ls-l. So as this is starting with hyphen, so this is the option. Okay, so I am not giving any input here. The reason is if you see my present location, how will you know the present location? The command will be pwd. My present location is home CentOS. In this location only I am trying to list all the files and directories. Okay, so it will be ls-l. So I want to get the properties of all the files and directories which are in my present location called home CentOS. So now see what will happen. You will get all the details. So you have seen here, right? 3 folders, 4 folders, 4 folders and remaining files. All these folders and files are listed here. Okay, vertically. And for every folder and file, if you see, this is the if you see, these are all the folders and files which are listed vertically, and this is the size of the files and folders, and you can see the date when these folders and files are created. The same way, who is the owner of the owner, and this owner belongs to which group? Owner group, owner group, owner group. Okay, like this you can see all this, and you can also see the permissions here. Okay, what are the various permissions available for every files and directories. Another point to be noted here, if this line starts with D, it indicates that this is a directory, nothing but folder. The same way, this also line starts with D, it indicates that this too is a folder or a directory. This also starts with D, it indicates that this is a folder or a directory. But if this line starts with hyphen, so anything starting with hyphen indicates that this is a file. So if you see, ABC is a file, B is also a file because it is starting with hyphen, C is also a file because it is starting with hyphen. But if you see, RS is a folder because it is starting with D, and XYZ is a file because it is starting with hyphen. Okay, so you can also see this XYZ folder is having these permissions. Okay, so these are the permissions available. The same way for the RS folder, you are also having, these are all the permissions available. So various permissions are also displayed here. Now suppose if you want to see the hidden files and folders, okay, then the same ls command you will add with capital A. Okay, what is the option? Capital A. Now what will happen? It will disclose all the hidden files and folders. Okay, so how you know something is hidden? If the file or a folder is starting with dot, it means it is a hidden. So if you see dot, so this is a folder which is blue color, but it is having a dot, so this is a hidden folder. This is a file which is starting with dot, which is white color, so it is a file, but it is starting with dot, so it is a hidden file. So if you want to get the details of all these hidden files and folders, you can combine the above command like ls-a with L. L will give you the properties of all the files and folders. Okay, now see, if you see closely, all the hidden files and hidden folders details are also made available here. So this is the way your ls command will be working. Okay, so let us clear the screen and start with the next option, which is nothing but not option, next command. Means the next task is to create files or creating the files in our machine. So to create the files, we have the command called touch command. Touch command, and you have to tell what is the file name. Touch command and the file name. Okay, this is the syntax. Okay, but what am I trying to tell? Here you have to tell what is the file name you want to create. So I'll remove this. Okay, so touch is a command, and I want to create a file. The file name will be file1, file2, and also file3.txt, and also file4.txt. So if you see, I am trying to create multiple files in a single go. If you want to create multiple files in a single go, this is one file, then space, second file, space, third file, space. And also not only that, if you see, I am giving for the file 4 extension got txt and file 3 extension got txt. But for file 2 and file 1, I am not giving any extensions. Okay. So extension is not at all mandatory for Linux. Okay. These extensions are only for ourselves to understand that this is a text file, this is a normal file. If you want to create a Python file, then you will say file py. It's a Python file. If you want to create a another file for a JavaScript, it will be file 6.js. Okay, that's it. When you click enter, all the files might have created, but you don't know whether they are created or not. To know that, you'll use a command called again ls command. Okay, so if you see here, we created file 1, file 2, file 3.txt, file 4.txt, file 5.py, file 6.js. All the files whatever you have created are available here. Okay, that's it. So let us go with the next command. Before that, I'll do an ls and have the list of files available, so it will be easy for you to understand. So next activity or next command is to remove the files. We created these files, right? These files we created. If you want to remove these files, the command will be rm command. Rm stands for remove. So what is that I want to remove? I want to remove file 1, file 2. Okay, so you should say rm and the file name. Okay, rm and the file name. Let me write the syntax here and then I'll replace the syntax. Rm and file, it is file name. Rm file name. Okay, so what is the files you want to remove? You have to tell every file name here. I mean, you have to remove the syntax and replace it with the file name. So I want to put the file name here. Okay, command is ready rm, but file name I want to add file 1. And if you want to remove multiple files at a time, then you should say what is the file name one after the other by giving a space. Okay, file 1, file 2. So these two files I want to remove. Okay, click enter, and if I do an ls, you should see now what happened. File 1 and file 2 are removed successfully. In case sometimes if the file is being used by any other process, in that scenario, what you can do is you can use, along with the rm command, you can use -f. -f stands for force removing, forcefully deleting the file. But the point to be noted here is, once a file is deleted either forcefully or normally, you cannot recover it. Okay, so let me show you the -f option with applying it on this B, C, D and E command. Okay, so B, C, D and E, these are all the files. Okay, so B is a file, C is a file, D is a file, E is a file, which are there in white colors. So I know that they are files, and I am trying to remove B, C, D, E and E in a one go, and I am also applying force to remove them. Okay, now if I do an ls again, the result is B, C, D, E are gone. Okay, yeah, another point which is interesting here to be noted down is, if there are multiple files with the same extension. So if you see, I am having file 3 with the extension called .txt, file 4 with the extension called .txt. So these are multiple files with a common extension called .txt and .txt. If you want to remove such files, again the same command rm, and then you will say star. Star indicates remove everything. Star means remove everything. But what everything? That everything you have to prescribe here. So if you see what is common between these two files, it is the extension called .txt. Okay, this commonality is what I will select here. Okay, I will write it here, .txt. So everything ending with .txt, star means everything ending with .txt will be removed. So if you see, there is only .txt here and here, but there is no .txt here anywhere. Okay, so only my file 3.txt, file 4.txt will be removed. Okay, this is the way you can remove. When I do an ls, you should see the file3.txt, file4.txt are gone. Clear? So now let us take another command. So I am clearing the screen, clear. So we'll go with copying the files, okay. So the syntax will be CP, CP stands for copy, and then you have to tell the syntax as source file, okay, source file, and what is the destination file. Okay, CP, source file and destination file. So what is the source and what is the destination? Let me take the list of files available in my machine. What we will do is, I'll take another example where copy CP ABC, source and the destination will be temp. Under the temp folder I am copying it. So let us see, it will happen. So if I do an ls, in my source location ABC file is already there, but I want to see in my temp folder whether the ABC file is available or not. Okay, so how will I see that? If you see, I will use this ls command. Okay, ls will list all the files and directories that we know, but it is listing all the files and directories in my present location. Okay, where is the present location? Home CentOS. How do I know that? If I say pwd, this is the present location. From this location only it is giving the details of the files and folders, ls command. But I did the copy from of the ABC file from home CentOS to the temp location. So for this I have to do ls and I have to tell temp location. So I want to list everything in my temp location. Okay, now if you see, ABC is the file what we copied, and the ABC has been successfully copied from the home CentOS location to the temp location. This is the way you do the copy. So copy command syntax will be CP source file and let me finish it, destination file. That's it. Okay, this is the syntax. Okay, clear? Suppose if you want to do another copy again, so you should know which file you have to copy. Okay, so we'll do the ls. So now we are having bad.py. I want to move my bad.py. Okay, or I want to copy, it's not a move, I want to copy my bad.py file. So I am writing the source here, copy source in the destination into my, this time to a different directory which is temp directory. Okay, clear? So if I do an ls, my bad.py is already there, but now I want to do the ls in my temp. Okay, so this is the command. This is the, is this the input? No, this is the option. I told you, right, inputs will start with hyphens. This is not starting with hyphen, but this is a, I mean to tell, this is a command, ls is a command, and this is not option, because option will start with hyphen, but this is the input for the command called ls. /temp is the input for the command called ls, and in this location I copied bad.py. So bad.py is copied successfully. Clear? So clear the screen? Okay, clear. Now we will see how to use move command. Okay, moving the files from one location to another location. Okay, so what do you mean by move? When you move something, in the source the file will not be available. Straight away the file will be available only in the destination. Okay, whereas in copy what happened? The file was available both in the copied location and also, the file was available in the source location, and also the same file was available in the destination location in a copy scenario. But in a move scenario or a move command, what will happen? The file will be moved from the source location to the destination. So the file will be available only in the destination, and you cannot see the same file in the source location. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll create two files first. Okay. So I'll create two files. How will you create a file? Using touch command. Touch. One file will be notes.txt. Okay. I'll create this file first. And how will you see that the file is created or not? Use the ls command. So notes.txt file got created. Now I want to move this notes.txt file. Okay. Suppose if I perform the same notes.txt in my present working directory only. Okay. So the present working directory means in the same CentOS home CentOS location, I will do the mv command. So moving the file, the command is called mv. mv stands for move. Okay, and the syntax will be source file and it will be again destination file. Okay, this is the syntax. mv stands for move. What is the file you want to move and where you want to move. What is the file you want to move, which that is called source. Where you want to move, this is called destination. Okay, so let us replace these two syntaxes again. So I want to move the file called notes.txt, and where I want to move it with the name call. Okay, textbook.txt. Okay, so mv is the command, this is the source, this is the destination. When I press enter, now if I do an ls, you should see what did this command do. It has renamed. What happened here? It did not move, but the notes.txt is renamed as textbook.txt. How am I saying that? If you see, prior to performing this command, we were having here notes.txt, but after performing this command, what happened? The same notes.txt is renamed as textbooks.txt. So the point to be noted here is, when you perform the move command in the same folder or directory, move command, instead of moving, it will rename the existing file with the name of the new file. That's it. Okay, it's as easy as that. Suppose, okay, we'll take another scenario where we'll exactly see what will mv command do. Okay, now mv command, as I said, it stands for moving a file from one location to another location. The syntax will be mv and it will be source file, and again it will be destination file. Okay, so this is the syntax. But what I will do now is, let me take the list of files available in my machine. So these are all the files available. So now I want to move my textbooks.txt file. Okay, so the source file will be textbooks.txt, and where I want to move? I want to move it to a different location. So earlier I have shown you two folders. One is etc folder, temp folder. I want to move to my temp folder. Okay, so I'll say this as /temp. Okay, so inside my folder called temp, I am moving this file textbook.txt from my current folder, which is home CentOS. Okay, so let me also write my current folder details. How will you know the current folder details? PWD, present working directory. So currently we are in this home CentOS location. Okay, from this location, in this location we are having these files and this file is what I want to move to my another location. The command will be mv command. The source file is this file, textbooks.txt, and the destination, where I want to move the destination, under my temp folder. Okay, so is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? Let us see. Okay, I perform this. Now if I do an ls, if this file has actually moved, if this move command has really applied, you should not see under my home CentOS folder this file called textbook.txt. Okay, now I will do an ls. If you see, it is not there. What happened to this file? It moved inside temp folder. How will you check it is moved or not? The same command again, ls/temp. Okay, now see, the file got moved. Textbook.txt is available in the temp location. Clear? Now let us understand how to create directories, and for that let us see in which directory currently we are. Okay, pwd, present working directory. pwd stands for present working directory. Directories in Linux they are called directories, in Windows they are called folders. Okay, so I am in my directory called home CentOS directory. Okay, now